Hi everyone, how are you today? I am doing well. I played around with a little bit of watercolor and or inks, and I made some pages that I'm going to work on over the next few days. There's that one. It's not super exciting, but I think it would make a good base for some sort of pattern. There's this one, which I really like what happened. I used my pen, what's it called? It's called a, where did I put it? Oh no, where did it go? It's lost. This one, this Elegant Writer. When you get this particular pen wet, it does that. It bleeds out. When you write with it with just on a piece of paper, where's a piece of scrap paper? It's black. But when you put water on it, it separates out into these fun colors. And so I did that. Excuse me. I did this yellow orangey thing. I did this one with lots of purples and blues. And then I did this one with alcohol inks. So it looks different, but I still like it. I think I'm going to work on some neurographic art with these. That's kind of where I'm feeling today. Let's do this one. Let's do the purple one. Let's do some more neurographic. Why? I don't know. Just because I feel like it. What pen do I want to use? I'll use this one. So today's pen of choice is going to be the Micron PN pen. I think. You know what? I'm doubting myself. I'm thinking that I might want to, next to that purple, I'm thinking maybe one of these colored pens might be fun. Let's do that one. No. Shall we do the neon pink jelly roll on there? Or should we stick with a color that's similar in tone and do like the teal jelly roll? Why not see a lot of it? Oh, what to do, what to do. I'm thinking, folks, I'm thinking. I know it's hard. Let's do that. Let's make it match and see. Do I want to do it in greens or purples? I don't think I'll see the purple as much. Maybe I'll do both. Okay, let's do that. I really want to bring my camera over just a little bit. I have it a little off. I keep trying to adjust from when I had my camera way out of adjustment so I could get that water bottle in there. So that's better. Okay. I'm going to go around the purple areas in the teal. And I'm going to go around the teal areas in the purple. I think that's what I'm going to do. See what happens. I going? I don't know. I'm just kind of following the blobs. I watched a Neurographic art channel thing where they pushed a coin on their paper, which is how they made the organic shapes. That was interesting to watch. But right here, I'm just going to kind of just follow these blotches. There's definitely a kind of a purpley blue splotch going this way, and there's definitely some things happening here. And some stuff happening in here. Okay. And then let's see what the purple does. Some of them I might want to do more one color than another. I didn't go around this spot. I've never seen anybody do it in colors like this before, so we'll see what things decide they want to live as. I'm going to sneeze. Pardon me. I hope I got the microphone far enough from my face when I did that. Okay. That looks interesting. I think I like the purple better than I like this color. Oh, I smudged. Well. I think I'm going to just do the purple instead. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm going to do some of the neurographic part here. I'm going to do it in the purple and just see what happens. Maybe I'll just go around the green with the purple. We'll just have both colors in this design. That's okay. So once you get your lines in, you want to just do the curves. You guys know Neurographic. You've seen it now. Which direction can I... Okay, why is my camera not zooming in? There we go. I don't know what it was problem is. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and leave that green. Well, I have to leave the green. But I'm going to put the purple. I'm going to sort of sandwich the purple and the green because I like the purple better. I think Neurographic art clearly seems to favor a darker pen. So that's what I'm going to do. Well, this is all I'm going to do for the rest of the day. I'm just going to follow these lines and make sure that at any intersection or junction that it is a smooth transition and not a clunky one. Where I've put the green, it looks like I'm going to go around it with the purple. And that'll make some interesting shapes. Okay, I'm happy with that, actually. All right, so let's do some questions while I'm neurographicing because, you know, this just is what it is. Where are you? Job interview, we did that one. Personal masseuse, we did that one. If you could be on the cover of any magazine next month, which magazine would you want it to be, and what would you want the caption to say? That's an interesting question. What would I want it to say? First off, I'd have to figure out which magazine. Which magazine do you think I should be in? Good Housekeeping? No, I don't think so. Something that has some influence that people actually still read. Maybe one of those Time magazine specials, you know? And perhaps it would be that the title would be How Art Saves Your Mental Health. Absolutely. How art saves your mental health. That would be a good article. Would you guys read that? Absolutely, I would. And it does. Art saves your mental health. 100%. I've got a blob here I don't like. Where'd my pen go again? I put it away, but I shouldn't have. I've got a spot here that's a little smudgy. I think I want to add that dark, more green thickness to some of these spots. But yeah, how does art save your mental health? You know, doing stuff like this, especially this neurographic art, is something that I believe everyone can do. Absolutely everyone. It's not a precious art form. It's squiggles and lines and making thick and thin spots. But you'd be amazed. Have you guys done this neurographic art? Did you take inspiration from the last one I did and do one of your own? Have you explored this world? Because doing this is just, not only is it a lot of fun, but there's a lot of insight and inspiration into your mental life and your mental health that you can explore while you are drawing. Some of the really good neurographic artists talk about, putting an emotion out on the page, like thinking about the stress, thinking about, let's say, your employer, thinking about a coworker, thinking about your spouse, putting that on the page while you're drawing, and you'd be amazed what kind of art comes out of it, especially if what comes out of it ends up being, if you start out with a deeply difficult subject matter that you're trying to work through, you would be surprised what you can work through in your mind as you're doing this. And you're taking something that could look ugly and turn it into something beautiful, and it's not hard. And I'm just enjoying myself here. I don't know. I'm just going to work back and forth between the pens. I was going to do all purple, but now I'm not feeling it. It changes as you draw, and that's part of the neurographic process, actually. It's changing the neurons, the connections in your brain, and it's helping you problem solve. It's helping you it's just helping. It just does. I'm not eloquent enough to explain what exactly is going on in my head while I'm working, but it does. It's totally. If I wasn't talking to you guys, I would be in a different headspace. And all I'm doing is just following those lines that I did before, and I'm just adding color as I think it needs it. And I'm rounding edges. You want no sharp edges in neurographic art. So like right here where it's coming to a point like that. See where it's coming to a point like that? Just want to round it off. Make it softer. like that. And I've got two colors going on there. And I'm just going to sit back and I'm going to look at it a little bit. Decide what I want to do here. I've got a splotch over here. Somehow I ended up with a splotch. So, because, see, sticking my hand in it. I forget that these pens I have to wait. I'm trying really hard not to stick my hand in it, but I did. And because I did, I ended up with a splotch. But that's okay, because you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to take this, and I'm just going to incorporate that splotch into another shape. I have to remember when I'm doing this with the thick pen that it's going to be wet for a while. Don't stick my hand in it. So yeah, that's what I would put on there. One of those Time magazines, and you too can learn how neurographic art can help your mental health. That would be good. It'd be a good article. I'd like to read that. Especially nowadays, doing things that are good for your mental health is just so critical. I think if I didn't have this channel and I didn't do this as often as I do, I think I would have been struggling a lot more during this last couple years. Would have been even harder. Last couple years have been hard, absolutely dreadfully hard, but I think it would have been even harder if I didn't have an outlet for my pain and my stress. I 100% can use this as an outlet. What am I doing? I don't really know. I'm just following my instinct. You guys were way off again. I need to really adjust this. Let me put it back over here just a little bit. It's amazing how I can make an adjustment that's, I don't know, about the size of, I don't know, the tip of my pen. This little tiny bit of an adjustment. That much. And it makes a huge adjustment down here on the paper. And yeah. Okay, that's better. Okay. I'm just trying to get a feel for where I can put my paper so you guys can still see. I know I'm having a struggle with that. So, you know, yes, you guys pointed out to me, and that's cool. You can go ahead and continue to point it out to me, but I'm well aware that I'm having a struggle. There we go. This one needs more of a curve here. Some of these are really hard to see. I know that this green is kind of hard to see, especially on camera. It seems to be even worse. So I apologize for that if you can't really see what I'm doing. Next question. If you had to pick the worst meal you've ever eaten, what would it be? Ooh. Sorry, Mom, but I absolutely hated it when you made liver and onions. Ugh. Liver is just, ugh. The texture of liver. It squeaks when you chew it. It just, I have not had liver in probably, I want to say 45 years. And I can still feel the squeak. Ugh. Yuck. And I'm sure there are many people out there in the world that enjoy it as a meal. It's just not mine. Just not mine. Love my mom, and I love many things that she used to cook for us over the years. But that was not one of them. Ugh. And I didn't know it at the time. But we were struggling financially. My mother, she did an amazing job of keeping us solvent when many others would go completely bankrupt, and she didn't. And we were struggling. We were. She often told me that she did not want to go into the welfare system. She chose to struggle rather than get money from the government. And it was a personal choice. And I'm not looking down on anybody who does need governmental assistance, but it was just her philosophy was that if she went on government assistance, that she would get complacent and that was her thought, that she knew herself and that she would then not work so hard at trying to get out of the situation. And she decided never to go in it in the first place. But in that, I suspect that, many of our meals were made out of the cheapest meat she could find, and liver was one of those. We had often a lot of this not very good meat that she would simmer into a stew for hours and hours and hours in order to make it tender enough to eat. And when I was a kid, I didn't understand that this is how she fed her family without when she had no money or very little. And there are foods that I grew up with that I suspect are the reasons I like them so much. It's not because they're high quality, but because it's what I grew up with. And I grew up with this low quality because my mother struggled. And I love her to death for the sacrifices she made for my sister and myself. The things she did so that we never knew that we were as poor as we were. Because when I look back as an adult, I can see that, wow, how did she manage to afford the things she did for us when we wanted to do stuff with our friends? Because I don't think that she should have been able to afford what she did for us. And my guess is that she went without many, many times that she gave to us when she could have had it for herself, and she didn't. And she will never know how much I appreciate that. Well, maybe she will. She's probably listening to this. She does watch my videos sometimes, so she might see this. You never know. Never know. But if you guys grew up in a difficult circumstance where, when you look back on it, your parents had to make some difficult decisions, and you don't understand why you couldn't have the new bike when everybody else had a new bike, or you couldn't have lots of new school outfits when back to school time came. You got one, and you had to wear that one outfit all the time, and you got hand-me-downs, and you wore them proudly. They were new clothes to you just because somebody else had worn them before. Right now it's trendy to thrift. And to upcycle, and to take something from the thrift store and fashion-wise and remake it into something for yourself. Well, we did that long ago, and it wasn't because it was a trend. We did it because it was a necessity. And right now I don't think a lot of people portray in the media that there are still people who struggle this way, and it's just not shown. People who have real struggles in this life, it just doesn't show. It's kind of expected. Like, for example, where I work in a pharmacy, and they've changed to having our ads using the app on your phone, which for many, many people would say, that's cool. I can just use my app. But there's a segment of the population you're completely alienating, and that's the segment of the population who can't afford a phone. They can't put an app. And they're the ones who need the sales. They need to know what is a bargain in your store. And then, you're telling them, well, too bad, so sad. You have to have an expensive phone that has data in order for you to shop in our store. And that's just not right. I don't like it. That's just me. All right, so I've seemed to have made a neurographic tree. Perhaps it's my family tree and my legacy and how my mom nurtured me and helped me to grow. I love this. It's not what I had anticipated when I started out, but I love this. Thanks, Mom. I will see you guys on the next video. Go out and do something nice for someone today. Make a sacrifice for someone else. They may never understand what the sacrifice is and how much you did for someone else, but it's worth it. Every single bit of sacrifice is worth it. I'll see you guys on the next video, and hopefully it won't be quite so maudlin. We'll look at a different question. All right. See you later. Bye-bye.